Dr. Angel Fernandez Varela stated that when Diaz-Verson returned to Miami from Mexico City in the latter part of November 1963, Diaz-Verson advised him that while in Mexico City, he had had contact with other newspapermen there and had learned that the Mexican federal police had arrested a Mexican citizen, Sylvia Duran, an employee of the Cuban embassy in Mexico City, because of her connection between Oswald and the Cuban embassy. Just a little snippet from NASA, Nazis, and JFK, the Torbett document and the JFK assassination. This has an introduction by Ken Thomas and it's forwarded by David Hatcher Childress from Adventures Unlimited Press. Very interesting document, the Torbett document. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. Well, of course, I can't go by without making a comment about the ridiculous charade and the shenanigans of this entire debt ceiling fiasco that we've all had to deal with over the last couple of months in particular. And, you know, I could point out the ludicrous nature of it, the ridiculous and utterly histrionic acting involved by both parties in this entire affair. But I just want to ask you all a question. Are any of you surprised in the least by the outcome of this? Because you shouldn't be. I told you a long time ago, and I'm sure you heard it from other people. I'm not claiming to be the only source of this. But I told you a long time ago, this entire thing was a setup from the very beginning. And to come down to the wire so that people had to vote for it without really having a chance to look at it and understand the implications. Because it is the beginning of the end of the entire New Deal as set up by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Like him or hate him, Social Security and Medicare have been a boom to this economy and to this country and to the lives of people here. Now, Medicare came later, obviously, but it's in the same vein as the New Deal programs, which have led to greater lives and greater benefits for elderly people in this country. One cannot downplay the tremendous good that both of these programs have played in America. But they're only one part of what is being done here. There is also a systematic attempt to completely fucking annihilate the economy in this country. Because what you have continuing ever since the 70s is a continued transference of wealth to the wealthiest motherfuckers in this goddamn country. Wow, you have a systematic raping of everything off of the poor and the disenfranchised. This is only a continuation of it and an establishing of it as a fact of fucking law. Profits for companies continue to soar. Wages continue to go down in the tank. The poor get poorer, the rich get richer. And not only this, but now you have a hampering on what the government can spend. So that when we are in horrible fucking recessions / depressions like we still are right now, government spending can't be used to bring us out of it. So we're guaranteed to stay in it longer and people are guaranteed to fucking suffer more. Not that the government has done anything in its turn this time around, because Obama saw to that being a total fucking failure. There were no stimulus projects. The stimulus was a fake stimulus. It did nothing. There actually was a stimulus to the economy that actually put real, actual people to fucking work, building actual, real fucking shit. Perhaps we would not still be in this motherfucking depression. But, be that as it may, there you have it. So, what do we have now? We have a SuperCONgress who is going to be looking at ways to attack entitlement spending. That's the only thing you need to know. Nothing else enters into this equation. Okay, everything else is window dressing. All right? So don't listen to anything else that's going on, because that's the goal. So whenever this comes up again in 6 months or November or whatever it's going to be, okay, and this SuperCONgress decides on how to tackle entitlement spendings, which, you know, that's completely erroneous, because one thing that you need to have absolutely clear in your mind, whenever they decide to go after Social Security and Medicare, those programs have absolutely nothing to fucking do with the debt or the fucking deficit. Period. And yet, they're lumped in there. And the reason they are is so they can be put on the table for axing. Now, whenever this SuperCONgress meets, there are supposedly incentives for them to come to agreement. Well, naturally, they're going to come to agreement. They're going to slash and burn Medicare and Social Security. And it's only a question of how severe and how quick it's going to happen. I imagine it's probably going to be put on a fast track, because Obama is clearly the guy. He's the linchpin president. The guy that's going to demolish New Deal. The guy that's going to make sure that there is forever a rift between the wealthiest and all the rest of the people in the fucking country, and guarantee class warfare forever, because now the government has been hobbled in any efforts to try and address any of these issues. And you're guaranteed that what little tiny fucking sprinkling of input you had in government is destroyed by the creation of this SuperCONgress, which is completely and utterly unconstitutional and absurd. And the only thing it is put there for is a mask and a cloak for the avoidance of responsibility when it comes to facing up to the fact that they are destroying us. Despite what we say or what we do, you have no voice anymore, ever, once and for all, done, finished. Unless, of course, you are rich, or you are the CEO of a giant corporation. In that case, you get everything you want. Because this is the turning point of this country right now. We have the wolf in sheep's clothing president, the one that the right continues to yell about being a Marxist socialist, which is the most ludicrous, laughable thing I have ever seen in my entire fucking life. But you have to understand, it's part of the shadow play. They keep saying it enough, people start parroting it, because they are fucking stupid jagoffs who can't even fucking think for themselves. So they parrot the same fucking thing. He's a Marxist socialist. Oh, he is a socialist, but a socialist that robs from the poor and gives to the rich. It just continues the same policy. But now, we have enacted it as law, and we have prevented the government from taking any action to stop the continuous raping. There will be no jobs. The depression will continue. It will get worse. The foreclosure problem will continue as the courts continue to side in favor of banks and robo-signing and all the other fucking bullshit crap that they have been doing. Anything that makes it to the Supreme Court will, of course, be laughably found to be totally good and fine, even though it completely violates every tenet of law and justice, because we live in bizarro world, where up is down, left is right, and everything else is backwards. So I don't want anybody to even try and pretend to be surprised by this, because if you are, you haven't been listening.